Hey everyone, welcome to the next chapter in the book of Ultraviolent 4's Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup Adventures. That sounded pretty lame. This is one that I know a lot of you have been waiting for. I've been asked to do this one a lot. We're heading into the advanced category and we are going to be playing a Felid. Are many-lived cats possessing sentience, incapable of advanced item manipulation or the use of armor or weapons. A lot of people consider these to be an extremely hard species to play because some of the things said there, they're incapable of any weapons or armor. But another major factor is that they have minus 40% HP. You are fragile the whole game, no matter what. Once upon a time, I ranked all the species in the order of strength that I thought, and in fact, I put Felid above average in strength. So I probably disagree with a lot of you. Part of that is that Felids move quickly, which means you can run away from most engagements. But also this part here, in that they have a system whereby they can get extra lives. So once you get those rolling, you actually get a bit of insurance. So if you do mess up, you get to try again. I just want to show a game to you. This is a tournament game I played. Log. Sorry, trying to do bot queries under pressure. Because it's not that. One, feel it. It's an air elemental. It's not an arcane marksman. Okay, this is a tournament game where I played a Felid air elementalist of Nemlex. I was basically trying to farm tournament points. It was a 12-hour game, and that's without commentary. So when I commentate these games, it's probably roughly twice as long. So imagine that this was a 24, 25-hour game. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I agree Felids are hard in a way. In fact, they're very hard. But that's mostly mental. The best tool you have as a Felid is running away from stuff. So if you are patient enough to run away from everything and play 12-hour uncommentated games, you can do it. But I wanted to show you something in particular here. This list down the bottom shows all the different actions I took. And I want to draw your attention to this one here. The number of times I cast shock in that game. 10,856 shocks. So if I can win a Felid game casting almost 11,000 shocks, you can win a Felid game doing anything. They can't be too bad. Alright. Well, if you still disagree with me and you still think it's going to be a really bad, tough species to play, perhaps you're going to be amazed because we're going to try to streak this. We've won our last 4 games in a row. This will be an attempt at a 5th game, which is at the point that I'll start sort of thinking of it as a serious streak. Let's go Felid. As for backgrounds, I want to pick one that we haven't yet played, which is sort of getting low. We played most of these, but we're going to pick a Venom Mage. Felids are indeed, I will agree that they are difficult in the very early dungeon, and that's because with minus 40% HP, any monster with a weapon can one-shot you. You can get one-shot by dart slugs as well. So it is a lot easier if you pick a you pick a background that doesn't require you to ever be in melee range. Venom Mage is one such backgrounds. There we go. Felid Venom Mage, a FeVM. Let's have a look at what else is about us. So we already know we can't wear armor. Can't even wear hats. Can't even be a cat in a hat. I don't know. Maybe cats aren't supposed to wear hats in this day and age. It's very hard to keep up with these sorts of things. Can't wield weapons or throw items. Don't even get throwing nets. You get a bonus to your stealth. You have 1 rank of claws, which is an extra 2 slain. And this it does say it here. Your sharp claws are effective at attacking unaware monsters. They're the only species that get a stabbing bonus from unarmed combat. And that's because, of course, Felids can't wield daggers. You have razor sharp teeth. It's an auxiliary melee attack. Natural see invis. You're carnivorous and can eat meat at any time. You move quickly. You're covered in fur, which gives you +1 AC. When you are at level 6, you get a 2nd point of bonus AC. And then at level 12, you get a 3rd point. Amazing. And at level 12, you also get a point of resist cold. So yeah, very useful. Slow metabolism. That's not that important. And that's basically, most things about it. Minus 40% HP. We start off with 7. So a dart slug at max damage does 8 damage. You can just get 1 shot. And so until we get to level 3, which is where we get our first extra life, it is very difficult and we will have to be extremely careful. The way the extra lives work is you get every 3rd level, you get an extra 1. If I hit the percent screen, you can see here, it says how many deaths we've had and how many lives. You can only have 2 extra lives at any given time though. If you miss some, because you already had 2 when you get to level 3, when you get to a multiple of 3, you can get those back once you lose 1, and that's by getting to a new non-multiple of 3 level. Re-reaching an old level doesn't give you an extra life. Part of when you die, part of the punishment is that you lose an experience level. So yeah, getting back to the one you were doesn't get you an extra life. But yeah, we're going to have to be very careful until at least level 3. Well, really, we're going to have to be careful all game. Basically, the way you play Felid is by remembering that you are a pussy. So you have to play like a pussy and run away from everything. What else have we got? Other things about Felid. It's kind of giving quite a bit of explanation here because it's a very unique race. But the fact that you can't wear any armor at all means that you tend to struggle a lot for resistances. You can still use jewelry. That's where you get most of your resistances from. Sometimes you can play like mutation roulette, although that's a little bit harder to do with the way mutation potions work now. Once upon a time when you had beneficial mutes, you could try to get, some extra fire resistance or some extra AC. That's always amazing because it like triples your AC. It's crazy. Let's see. I think that's most of the things I want to say about Felid. As a Venom Mage, we started off with the Young Poisoner's Handbook. We start with Sting at level 1. Sting is a really unreliable spell. First of all, it tends to miss a lot. And second of all, even if it does hit, you can still fail to poison them. In which case, you can very easily go through all your mana without actually getting the enemy. And then even if you do, it's damage over time. So when they're ticking out, if it's something like an Orc Priest, they can be smiting you. Fortunately, a relatively new spell on the level 2 spot, and that's Poisonous Vapors. That's an extremely good spell. It's a smite poison cloud, so can't miss. You can hit anywhere on the screen, even if you don't have direct line of fire to it. It's really, really strong. And then you've got Mephitic Cloud is some very good utility. And then later on, Ogrebs, which can poison everything on the screen, and Venom Bolt, which is more of a conjuration type, Blaster Caster type spell. And a meat ration. Alright. As far as our spells go, this is the full spell list. Look at the left hand side. It's so empty because we can't train any weapons or any armor skills or any throwing or anything like that. Felids are particularly good at a few different things. Dodging, they have a +3 on, it's very good. +4 on stealth, and then they're also really good at translocations and hexes. So yeah, if you can ever find a hex book, it's really strong. Also, starting as a Felid enchanter is very strong, although on level 1 you will have to melee things, so it is a little bit nerve-wracking. You're hoping that you just roll good EV rolls and you just dodge everything. Alright, as for what we're going to train, poisonous vapors I don't think is conjurations. No, it's just poison and air. So I'm not going to train any conjurations. We're going to focus poison magic. I guess we'll leave spellcasting on for some extra magic points. We're going to leave stealth on because it's +4 and that really helps you avoid fights. And also dodging because +3 is really good in terms of helping to increase evasion. As much as I'd love to train fighting, and it is extremely important, your returns are so minuscule because you're getting -40%. It's kind of, you can't win. Because your HP is so low, you really, really desperately need to train fighting. But because they're so bad at getting hit points from fighting, it feels bad even when you're training it. Alright, so I guess that's how we're looking. I just want to show you when we move. You have a look at this number in brackets here. It shows you how long the last move took. Normal characters move at 1. So it means 1 turn or 10 orts, which is an arbitrary unit of time. We're moving at 0.8. And I figured out how to convert that now and explain it more succinctly. This means we're moving 1 tile every 8 orts. Divide 1 by 8 to find out how many tiles you move in every ort. Times that by 10, and we're moving 1.25 tiles every 10 orts, or 1 turn. Times that by another 10, and you get the speed for the game. So as a Felid, we're moving at 12.5 speed. That's useful because you can use the bot or the learn database to query monsters we find. Like for instance in Adder. An Adder is speed 13, so we can't actually run away from an Adder. It's really important to know. It's not much faster than us, so as long as we've got a gap between us, we probably could run. But you want to know that, for instance, say a Centaur. Their speed 15, so we cannot run from Centaurs. Again, with a gap we maybe can, but the point is, it's good to know your speed relative to monsters. And let's get going, I guess. I'm not going to auto-explore. Finding pillars is so crucially important for a Felid because we're weak and we're going to be relying on running away from things to heal up. I also just want to set a macro by pressing the tilde key and then M. And I'm going to put one on the 1 key, and it's going to be ZA dot. That means ZA is to shoot sting, and the dot means enter on the closest target. So now I can press 1 to just shoot things with sting without having to do it manually. I don't mind opening all these doors because we can always shut them again. If it's something like, say we find the dart slug that can one-shot us as our first monster, we can shut that door. Is this a pillar? No. I thought if that tile would have allowed us to walk around, it would be extremely important. I'm going to check these doors out, moving around in a circle. And you notice I'm not going to cut the corner as I go around corners because I'll reveal less tiles if I don't do it. So say, when I go here, I've revealed these tiles. But if I'd stepped around the corner like this, I would have revealed a whole lot more. This is important when you're something that's really weak in the beginning, like a Felid before you get to level 3. Because you want to, revealing fewer tiles potentially reveals fewer enemies. Still have not seen a pillar anywhere. Nope. Got 2 more. No, I don't like that one. I don't like any of these. No, too many hallways. Okay, so I'd rather go probably to one of these. I'd rather pick a door because again, if we see a dart slug or we see, I don't know, a leopard gecko or something like that, we can always shut the door again. Here's a rat, first enemy. That's fine. We can sting him and we immediately killed him. We're going to go back, shut the door, and get our 1 magic point back. Alright, all these single scrolls we're not going to read. This is kind of a pillar. We can run all the way around this and do circles around that. That makes me feel a little bit happier. So I'm going to start exploring out from this first pillar we found. Alright, it looks like this whole area in here with all the funky hallways is all part of our entrance vault. With no enemies in it. Okay, we found our first ring. We're not going to try that on without remove curse. It could be -6 evasion, and for a species that has no AC and relies almost entirely on evasion, that's definitely not something that we want to end up with. Could also be cursed ring of teleportation or something like that that would make our lives really miserable. The fact that we just found a second scroll indicates that it's probably either identify or remove curse. I'm not going to try it just yet. And that's because it could also be a scroll of teleportation. And having only fought 1 enemy and explored barely any of the floor yet, I really don't want to be thrown randomly somewhere on the floor. Alright, well, we've done this whole area. It's time to branch out. Please no dart slugs till we get to level 2. Alright, frilled lizard is okay. We've got to move closer to it. I mean, we could be walking up and trying to stab it, but I'd really rather just shoot sting at it. More rats. And a ball python. Alright. Thing is, you can take as much time as you want. Good. Alright, and the reason for that is that once upon a time, Felids were one of, if not the most punished species by the out of depth timer. And what that is when you spend too long on a floor, the game starts spawning progressively harder and harder enemies. But if you're playing Trunk, the out of depth timer has just been removed. So take as long as you want. By running away from things, by resting up, by kiting it, all that stuff's fine. A leopard gecko is really scary for an experience level 1 of most characters, but we're gonna query it. Leopard gecko. It is speed 12, so it's not faster than us. We are slightly faster than it. Still, I'm going to come at it from this side. So if we do need to start running, we are able to go back towards where we have already been before. Alright, more rings. This is tempting me to want to read. Oh, we've got 3 scrolls or something. Okay, well, if we've got 3 or something already, and they were in stacks of 3, right? Yeah, because we had 2 or something before, and now we've got a 3rd. I'm 90% sure that that's going to be identify or remove curse. So I'm going to do it. If this is teleport, I'll be really sad. It's identify, okay. And we're going to do, it's kind of a toss up. We can do both of our rings and then a potion, or 2 potions and 1 ring. I kind of want to do the rings. Protection from fire, that's not too useful in the early game. I'm really hoping we get like a +6 protection ring. +2 protection is amazing though. Our AC just went from 1 to 3. And considering that until experience level 6 we can't get any more extra AC, that is a huge boon. I'm going to do one of these potions. Lig. That's also amazing. League makes you are poison. It gives you roughly 30 AC or so, and it gives you bonus HP and bonus to your unarmed attacks. So yeah, basically this will let us win any fight for quite a while in the game. Unless it's someone like Sigmund or something like that, but most monsters will be able to kill with League, or even packs. Okay, you see all these, as a Felid, you're going to see all these different things that you can't use, like armors and weapons and all sorts of things. And you see posts probably one a week on Reddit where someone's Felid found a gold dragon scales in the early dungeon. You're like, oh no, ah. I can promise you the game does not do that intentionally. It's basically just confirmation bias. Alright, we ran out of mana. We can kite this guy. So we just run back, and every time we get, see like that, the sting hit the cockroach, but it appeared unharmed. We did no damage and we didn't poison it. So we're just going to keep running away, and every time we get a new mana, we'll fire a new sting. Again, wow. There we go. We reached level 2, amazing. So we want to insta-memorize poisonous vapors. We're going to put it on maybe S, and I'm also going to make a macro for that fires ZS dot. Alright, this is extremely strong in this stage of the game, because this one can't miss. And actually, I just started auto-exploring. Although, note that it costs 2 mana, so you have to think, is 3 poisonous vapors better than 6 stings? In a lot of cases, I'd say yes. So this one we can't even sting, we're out of range, but we can poisonous vapors, because we can hit anywhere on the screen. And that one poisonous vapors just insta-killed that cockroach. Oh, man, it's such a good spell. Alright, I'm auto-exploring. I feel strong now. We're not level 3, but we've got poisonous vapors. I just got to be careful where I walk. So when that guy started running towards us, my instinct was to just run down this hallway. But that's so dangerous because we've never been down this hallway. So we could potentially have sandwiched ourselves in there. I'd say that's probably the most likely way that you accidentally die on D1 as a Felid. You get trapped between monsters, or you accidentally run yourself into a corner. Or, I mean, maybe you just get one shot on level 1 by a dart slug or a hobgoblin with a weapon. But yeah, as long as you're careful where you walk, you should be pretty fine. This is a kobold on D1 with a shield. What a boss. Does not help you against poison vapors though. We've got a second scroll or something. I think that's very likely to be remove curse, but just in case it's magic mapping, I'm going to come downstairs. We're going to read it. Oh, well, first we're going to deal with all the bats. And let's get, let's spread our poison vapors out a bit. We're going to read it on the stair, just in case it's teleportation. It's blinking, alright? So we wasted that one, but we've now got a second scroll blinking, which is also an extremely good escape tool. No, we didn't reach level 3 yet, alright. Okay, I don't mind checking out this hatch. First of all, just in case we want to take it up at some point. And then also because if we eventually get to the orb run, it might be on our most optimal path out of the dungeon. Alright, a second scroll. We're going to do the same thing. Read it on the stairs just in case it's teleport. It's remove curse. Okay, that means that any new rings or jewelry we find, we can put on without fear of getting stuck with it. Okay, probably until we're extra level 3, I should be manually exploring, so that we're not running down hallways in extreme directions, because we want to be sort of exploring around the stairs that we have access to. If you run one direction down a really long hallway and you meet, say, an adder, or say Sigmund, because that's more likely something you need to run from as your Felid. And as you're running back down that really long hallway, say all the way along here or something, other monsters could come in from the sides and trap you. So yeah, we probably really want to be not getting cocky. We're out of magic. I don't mind taking this guy up. I want to see what's on the stair above. Okay, so we're not going to get trapped there. We just died anyway. He had a potion. And we've got a whole bunch of 2 different scrolls. I think maybe for these ones, because we've already found Identify and we've already got Remove Curse, I'll wait on these. Probably till D4, because if they're magic mapping, it can potentially help us find the temple. And here's an altar. I think this is an Ashanzari altar. Let's see. I don't know why I just ran for the food first. That perhaps tells you my opinion of Ashanzari. It's a Dith altar. Okay. Well, I've mostly been trying to play new gods. Let's have a look at our god list. Although at this point there are only a few that I haven't yet played. Ashanzari is one. Xin is one. Wu Jian is one. And I think Uskayo. And I think they're probably the only gods that I haven't played. None of those sounds extremely compelling to me as a Felid. So I don't mind doubling this one up just for sanity's sake. And the fact that Dith is one of my favorite Felid gods to play. And the fact that we've just found him as our first god on D2, I think is a sign. So we're going to pick him up. He's Dith Minos the Shadowed. He likes darkness. He has a funny fire piety where you can't use fire spells and you can't use things like lamps of fire, etc. He gives you bonus piety when you kill fire monsters too. Let's see. Alright, so the things that he does, as you gain piety, you get an aura of darkness around you. It's basically the Umbra aura. It gives you extra stealth and reduces the accuracy of people hitting you. And then you get some abilities later on. You get Shadow Step, which if enemies are asleep or paralyzed, you can basically jump to them. I really like this one on Felids. When you get heavily injured, you bleed smoke. One of the great ways to die as a Felid is basically just to meet a ranged enemy, like a centaur who just 2-shots you. But if you bleed smoke when that first arrow hits you, they can't see you to fire more. As you get higher piety towards the end, you get a Shadow Mimic who mimics all your actions. It means your attacks get mimicked, any hexes you have get mimicked, any conjuration spell you have get mimicked. It represents quite a significant increase in DPS. And then this is part of why I really like it on a Felid. Finally, you get access to Shadow Form, which does a whole bunch of things. Let's have a look. Actually, you might be able to do it like this. No. Okay, here. Shadow Form. You turn invisible. You gain Torment immunity, Rot resistance, full negative energy protection, immunity to poison and hostile enchantments, 50% damage reduction. If you have Shadow Form and you remember to use it, it is very hard to die. And also, all damage you take under it will make you bleed smoke. So it is really, really tough to die. It's really good for ninjaing runes, which fast Felids are good at. Yes, we're going to join. And so say orb running or running away from orbs of fire or things like that are really good to stay alive. It's an invocations god, but we're not going to train that for probably quite a while. You don't really need invocations until you're talking about shadow form, which you don't get until 5 points of piety anyway. Alright, on we go. And I'm doing it again, I'm just hitting the auto explore. Should not do that. Maybe once we get to level 3. Are we close? We're pretty close. Alright, I'm doing it. I'm impatient. This might do it. Almost, not quite. One more. You do get some piety from every enemy you kill, but he gives you the most when you get fire monsters, or monsters that are capable of making fire. There we go. We get to level 3. You get 2 choices as a Felid. Strength is basically irrelevant. I mean, it's not entirely. Strength does give you more melee damage, but I'd say mostly the reason you care about strength is so you can wear heavier armors. Not being able to wear armor means you don't really care about strength too much. So it's between int or dex. Dex helps your stealth and it helps your dodging. Int helps you cast spells. I think unless you're playing a Felid Berserker, you'd have to be pretty crazy not to be casting spells on Felid. And we are a spell background anyway, so we're going to be picking int. Dex isn't a bad choice, but yeah. Let's have a look. Wait, we didn't get an extra life? I thought you got one at level 3. Maybe your first one's at level 4. I'm a bit confused. I could have sworn we were supposed to get one. Let's see. Extra life. Felids get one every 3 levels. Okay. XL3, where's our thing? Maybe because we start at XL1 you have to get to 4. That makes sense. We'll see. But I feel like I was expecting one now. Anyway, let's learn Mephitic Cloud. So, can we cast it off the bat? We can. But it's a 3 spell school. It's Conjurations, Poison, and Air. I think in addition to Poison Magic, we're going to turn on Unfocus Air. So we're training a whole bunch of things at once, which I know will trigger some of you. But Air Magic will also help us with Poisonous Vapors. But it's really good to have Mephitic Cloud castable, because it's a very good panic button in the early dungeon against things like Orc Warriors. Not Warriors. Well, yes, Warriors, but in the early dungeon you're more worried about Priests and Wizards. On we go. Apparently we still don't have an extra life, so we've got to be careful again. Worms we can kite forever and just poison vapors them. Sweet. Such a good spell. Come back to the stairs to heal. Not level 4 yet. As in dungeon level 4, so not reading our scrolls just yet. We've got a pillar here we can run around. This area here. And it's near the stair, so we're going to sort of explore out from this area. Stealth to 3. There's a teleport trap that we happen to find. Something also worth noting is that Felids have pretty good, we don't see it yet, but Felids have pretty good natural magic resistance. I mean, you can't ever wear any MR gear, so in practice it means you're normal, but you don't get punished really badly. Man, so many items we can't use. Here's an adder. Faster than us can poison us. We don't know about curing yet, and it has not seen us, so I'm just going to walk away. If we can approach it from the other side, where we can poison vapors it from more distance, I'll be happy. In fact, one thing, no, I don't really want to yell, because we haven't explored over here, so monsters might come from behind us. But an option could be to press TT to yell, or in this case, meow. That's great. Because adders are susceptible to poison, so as long as we can keep it away from us and with poison on it, it will tick out pretty quickly. Okay, well there's nothing on this side. Alright, I think we go for it. Alright, it is there. It has not seen us, but we can poison vapors it through the hobgoblin. And again, so the adder is doubly poisoned. We don't have enough for another one, but I think it's going to tick out to that. Let's see, we're going to run. There we go, good. Alright, another 2 something. Here's a Faded Altar. That might have been fun. Faded Altar Felid. Could get Zom. I'm auto-exploring again. Oh, we miscast. I'm just gonna... It hadn't seen us, so I'm just gonna go back and re-get it. We got a Wand of Digging. I would have preferred some sort of attack wand, but a Wand of Digging's not horrible either. It means if I accidentally trap us in a hallway between monsters, we can dig out. Felids can use wands, fortunately. Once upon a time, when they were first implemented, they couldn't, but they can now. I don't think he's poison enough to actually tick out. Okay, never mind. Okay. Oozes are poison immune, I believe. Resistant to poison. Okay, so we can't even hurt it with poisonous vapors. I mean, we can't even cast it on it. We basically have no way of doing anything to him. It's one of the weaknesses of the Venom Mage start, is that a lot of monsters are either poison immune or poison resistant. Ghosts, for instance, or any zombies or skeletons you see, things like wyverns and wights. So you kind of have to run from them. And if you're something that's slow, like you're a Naga Venom Mage, then you actually can just die to them. This dude we could try to fight him in hand-to-hand combat. He's going to miss us a lot with our 18 evasion. What we can do is take him upstairs, let's see, and we could try to fight him up there. And if we're losing, we'll just run away because we're faster. So we can just park him on the floor. We should check his damage. He can do up to 5. We have 14 HP, so we're not just going to get one shot as we go upstairs to him. And we're just going to tab slowly. Not too scary. We'll go up and heal. And we're just going to park him on this floor. It's kind of sad, but that's the Venom Mage life. Oh, he's still around. Pick this stair over here. There we go. It's called parking an enemy. As a feeler, we can park lots of things because we're fast, but most normal characters can also park enemies that are blinking, usually. Like say early Crimson Imps are really troublesome to deal with. You just park them on the floor above, they blink away from you, and then you leave again. A new book, a book of minor magic. This is amazing. Okay, it's not that amazing. No, I take it back, that is amazing. We're really lacking in spell levels though, but this does a few things. First of all, Blink is amazing because it gives us a pseudo escape. Magic Dart is maybe worth learning because it lets us deal with the poison immune enemies we've just been talking about, but probably not. The other one as well, Core Imp's really good because you can summon stuff, but the other one that oh no, we can't do Conjure Flame, never mind. I was going to say Conjure Flame's amazing because you can put it down in hallways to block monsters from chasing you, but we are Death, we are not allowed to make fire, so never mind. Well, this book is mostly Blink, that's the one I care most about, and then Conjure Flame was next, but never mind. I'm not actually as excited as I first was. Oh well. We're going to try this again. The other ooze is at the stair that we went to at the top. I'm kind of tempted to learn Magic Dart just to try to deal with this guy, but it's not worth it. I think just for some random ooze. New ID scroll. Let's do probably our potions. The Wand of Digging is nice, but it's not a priority to identify it. Let's pick one of the twos. That's most likely to be curing. We've got Brilliance. Not bad. And it looks like we've done most of the level except for this ooze. We can bring him back to this stair. The stair is near where the other ooze was, but not quite. Does Sting... We can cast Sting, but it does minimal damage, I guess. Let's try fighting him with Tab. No, it's not gonna happen. Oh, there's the other ooze. Oh dear. I could have nearly accidentally killed us by not noticing. So we've got the double ooze on D2. Again, we'll just avoid them by going over here. And make sure this floor is done. Yep. Okay, on to D4. Orcs are really terrifying because on these floors, D3 and D4, you can start seeing Orc Priests and Orc Wizards. A maximum damage smite from an Orc Priest is 17 damage. So we can get one shot by them. These Orcs that we've just seen really scare me because there might be a Priest around. I think we just leave. We X that stair out, and for the moment we just don't go near them. We try to stay away. Apparently we don't have extra lives. I thought we'd get one at XL3. I think I'm pretty sure it's XL4. Until we get an extra life, I don't want anything to do with any Orc Priests. That was an Orc who just got teleport trapped. I'm gonna wait here. Okay. We're not in any hurry. There's no out of depth timer. Alright. Because he got teleport trapped, it means that he knows where we are. So he might have been still coming. He can do 5 plus his hand axe. He can't one-shot us. We could bring him up. Okay, and we're just going to stay away from him. And he actually is just ticking out to poison vapors. Nice. Alright, on we go. We're about one enemy away from getting XL4. The worker ant is terrifying. I'm pretty sure he's faster than us. Worker ant. Speed 12. He's slightly slower. But he can poison us quite heavily, and we don't have curing yet. Again, like an adder, he's susceptible to poison, but at this close range and nowhere to run while he ticks out, I don't really want to do it. He can't open doors though, so if I shut this, we're not going to have to face him yet. Maybe we'll go the other way. No, we can't. Okay. I don't mind facing him if he's far away. We're so close to XL4. And I know there might be priests around. Just taking this really slowly. I was considering opening this door, but I know worker ants can't open doors, so he can't have gone in there. There he is. Okay, he's at full screen. That's perfect. He's susceptible to poison. Yep. Okay. We reached level 4 and we got an extra life. Okay. So that is the case. They're multiples of 3, but going from 1. So as in 4, 7, 10, so on. Alright, first extra life. We're much less afraid now. Now the hardest part by far of Felid is done. Because now we're fast and we have extra lives. Okay, well Hound Skeleton is again something we just cannot fight as a poison mage. Also, with that extra spell level we just got from leveling up, we can now learn Blink, which I immediately want to do. And I immediately want to train some translocations, but I think maybe we shouldn't just yet. Mephitic's still at 26%, which is too high for a failure rate. Okay. The plan is to take Poison Magic to 4. We'll turn that off for a bit. We'll train a little bit of translocations just to get Blink a little bit more reliable than that. In a life or death situation, you do not want to be failing Blink 26% of the time. It's too high. Oh yeah, right, we can't deal with the skeleton. Should probably just X him out. Another one. Okay. Well, again, he can't open doors. This is the downside of being the Venom Mage. Should probably X him too. Boy, miscast that a couple of times. I'm still really afraid of orcs because of the priest potential, but I'm not as afraid now. Although it's still really, really punishing to die in the early game as a Felid, because you lose the experience level. So we'd go from 4 back to 3. Doesn't change your skilling, but you lose the extra health and the magic that you got from being that level. So you can get in a bit of a death spiral with Felid if you die early, where you continue dying because every time you die, you get weaker. No priests, please. Man, Poisonous Vapors is such a good spell. Like, we cast it once on that orc, and then he just times out to it. Alright, he should be dead. Yep, we reached level 5. We got into our level up, which is good. There's just orcs everywhere on this floor. I got excited. A leather armor. Woo! No, can't use it. Spellcasting to 3. I think we want to just keep going. We've got 2 levels. We could learn Call Imp. It wouldn't be the worst. We could use it to try to make gaps between things that are faster than us, like centaurs, to let us run away. The other thing is that we can summon imps, and then we can, while they're between us and an enemy, we can still use our poison smite from Poisonous Vapors. Otherwise, the other spell that we would be running towards would be Olgrab's Toxic Radiance. I really like Olgrab's, but if we pick Call Imp, it's going to be quite a while until we have 4 new spell levels. Is that worth it? Probably, because Poison Vapors is so good for quite a while. Alright, let's get Call Imp as well. That one I'm not going to train. I don't mind a relatively high failure rate on Call Imp, because it's not one that we should be casting as a panic button. Another scroll of Blinking, another scroll of Identifier. We're going to pick the other stack of 2. Berserk Rage. Well, we could use Berserk Rage to kill the Hound Skeletons, but I don't think that's worth it. Oh man, that actually just one-shot him. Jelly. Alright, again, resistant to poison, so that's an enemy that we cannot hurt, and is actually really dangerous to us. I wonder if they can one-shot us. I feel like they maybe could. Jelly. Max damage is 3, and then they can do 7d3 acid damage, which is 21. So 24 on a max roll hit could one-shot us. And again, or we could fight it with a bunch of Call Imps actually. Why don't we try that? There's a wizard. Okay. We're really afraid of him. Let's XV him. First of all, his throw flames, his magic darts, etc. really hurt. And magic dart can't miss. So we're terrified of getting magic darted because we have such low HP. But we're also really afraid of being confused. Invis we're not. That's one that I don't think I mentioned at the start of the game. Maybe. But we have natural C Invis. Fortunately, he showed up right as we had made a couple of dudes. So as we step back... Okay, good. These imps are going to block the path between the wizard and us. And let's see where we're going. We're actually... I don't want to keep running down because that's into the unknown. I want to run through this room, which is also kind of in the unknown, but we could loop around back to this stair. As long as there's not a priest there. But in any case, now that it's blocked and we can't be hexed or shot directly, we can poison vapors through these guys, which is That one. We miscast it. What a time to miscast. Alright, he's poisoned. We're going to start walking through the door. And again, we're going to be using the imps to block line of fire. And we're going to poison vapors again. Did we really miscast it? Our first Orc Wizard and we miscast it twice at 8% fail. Why does this always happen? And now there's going to be a priest. I guarantee it. What did he do? He hexed. That gives us a look at his spellbook. He doesn't have confuse, so he's much less scary to us. But still scary because of magic dart. We've got 2 mana again. When he next comes, we can poison vapors him. Like that. Step around the corner. And then start walking back. Again, using the imp. The imp's timed out. How are we going to do this? We really need to get to 2 mana again. Okay, yeah, so these other orcs around really make me think there's probably a priest. If there is, we have blinking scrolls. We can probably escape it, so long as we don't get... We can't get one shot anymore. We have more than 17 HP. Alright, we just gotta watch out for this wizard. 1 more poison vapors will get him though. What we can do... Okay, well there it is. Got him, okay. What I was planning to do though was to shut the door, and then most of the time he's just going to open the door, and then we use our turn to shut the door again. Until he gets favorable random energy, he can't actually step through. And in fact, well, we didn't get to see it. It's a bit of a shame because it's kind of funny, but every time you shut the door, it means the enemy can't see you. So they actually do a stealth check to see if they forget you. And because we're quite stealthy, every time we shut the door, he might have just forgotten us. So doors are really powerful, especially in the early game, when you can potentially use them to regenerate mana and that sort of thing. We don't have enough. I think he's going to tick out to this. Okay, good. Looks like maybe there was no priest, which is very fortunate. We got poison to 4. Let's turn it off for the moment. Maybe we want to do some conjurations to help with Mephitic. No, it's going down. Yeah, I don't really want to train more conjurations. This is fine. I said I was going to turn on translocations, which again, Felids are really good at. They have a +4. Excellent. Centaur skeleton. Alright. How fast is he? I feel like he is extremely scary for us. Especially if he's faster. I don't think... Zombies are slower. I don't know that skeletons are. Oh, not the S. Centaur skeleton. He's speed 13, so he's only slightly faster than us. But he hits for up to 8 damage, and we can't affect him with poison. So we want to be running back to this stair up here. Fortunately, he can't, as a skeleton, same for zombies, they can't follow you upstairs. So we're going to be looping back around and then going upstairs. We can maybe fight him with imps, but he's right on top of us already. And yeah, each shot is potentially 8 damage, so we got to leave. The stair had... don't remember. Oh, that's where the orcs were. Okay, that's alright. And actually, now that we've got core imp, why don't we go up and deal with these silly jellies? Alright, there's one. We really want the cold ones. They're the best. Sweet. You can have 4 at any one time. That's your summoning cap. And again. Okay, these ones are really good too, the Iron Imps, because they hit for up to 12 damage. So they're pretty strong. Sweet. Alright. So the Ooze Menace is gone. The D2 a D2 Ooze Menace. And I think we actually... we're so nearly done with D4, let's just mop it up. Another iguana. Double iguana. It's starting to look like a triple iguana. I'm going to stay here in this little room. I don't want to happen across the centaur while we're out of mana. Good, we reached level 6, let's go more imp. And our fur grows into a thick mane, so we've got AC 2 now. Along with our +2 AC ring, we've got 4 AC. Super overpowered. Shift X, Control E removes our exclusions. And now we can kill the hounds if we get some of these dudes. Yep, nice. Translocations to 1, that brings our blink to 14%. Already that's really good. Go. Yeah, such a good spell. We just picked up, we've got 3 Identify Scrolls. Let's do our potions. Mutation, Agility, and Cancellation. Okay, still no curing, no heal wounds. Alright, I think this should be able to do it. Everyone go. The cold one especially will really hurt him. Sweet, stealth to 4, nice. And we've just got the centaur zombie, which we haven't found. So you go Shift X, Control F until we get the floor. And we're gonna run around and find it. There it is. Let's step out of vision first. Okay, we got our 4. They're already timing out. Our spell power with it's pretty low because we have no summonings. Nice. And we got our first point of Death Piety. Shift X, Control U to undo. And I think that's a good time to finish episode 1. We're looking pretty good. We haven't had any crazy situations yet on our Felid. And that's because Felid is in fact a strong race, as long as you don't play it like a madman, because you're fast. Anyway, we've got our god, we've got our first point of piety, we've got our Umbra going. I'm liking it. Come back next time, we'll keep going through the dungeon, and then I guess we'll be on the lookout for Left. See you then.